Hi everyone, it's Addison Taylor here, along with my kitty Moon. We're going to do a pick a card reading today. I was trying to figure out what to do this pick a card reading about, so I asked Spirit, and the Eight of Swords fell out of my deck. So this reading will be inspired by the Eight of Swords, which essentially is, an area of life that you're trapped in, or your blind spot, and what that is for you right now. So we have a few different piles. Pile number one is this beautiful rosebud from a bouquet of flowers I received on Valentine's Day. Pile number two is this key charm. Pile number three is this really pretty rock. I'm not sure what it's called. My daughter actually gave it to me, but it has this red and gray running through it. It's very smooth. Pile number four is OPALITE. And then pile number five is a rose rock. These are native to where I'm from. Alright, so I will be intuitively shuffling. We'll see what cards come out. This is a very direct, to the point sort of deck, so the messages should be very clear. This is black and white tarot. And so with that being said, hopefully Moon does good for us. With that being said, we'll start off with pile number one. Okay, so pile number one, you guys chose the dried rosebud. Isn't that pretty? It smells really good too. When I receive these, I let them dry so I can use the dried petals. Like, I probably need to peel this off, but I use them in like magic spells. I should upload some videos on some that I do. They're really simple. Something easy you can do to like add some spice to the bedroom. Get just any sort of bag, a breathable bag, and just put a bunch of dried rose petals, but it needs to be rose petals ideally from a bouquet that your partner bought for you. Let those dry, put them in that little bag, and then put like some cinnamon, you could put clove, any sort of flower or herb that you kind of think of when you think of like love and warmth. Anyways, just put that mixture all together and leave that bag underneath your bed where you sleep. So anyways, let's see what your reading is going to be about. Moon, you're doing so good. So my kitty Moon, she was actually born on Halloween night, which I thought was perfect. She's only about 4 or 5 months old. My daughter wanted to name her Pumpkin because of the Halloween connotation, but she's not really orange. And I'm a Cancer rising. I married a Cancer sun. I'm big on like moon cycles, and so I knew I wanted to name her Moon. All right. Okay, pile number one, let's see what we've got. Interesting, so we've already got quite a few cards that are indicating some relationship stuff, which makes sense since you guys chose the rosebud. All right. Okay, so let's see. We have something really good that is around you in the mid. I'm sensing that there's a difficult, there's some sort of upheaval or within that's going on, and it could be within you or with someone else, but some sort of upheaval that doesn't involve like a job or having to move, like anything tangible. This is something going on within yourself or within, you know, the relationship between you and another person. And it's interesting because it looks like there's a dynamic here of kind of one or both of you, perhaps someone in the relationship has this sort of obsession to achieve something. Like they're really obsessed with kind of achieving some sort of worldly goal. That could be you, that could be the other person. And yet even with that obsession and that kind of like never giving up sort of mentality, even where they're a little bit hard on themselves, too hard on themselves, they're not reaping the rewards of what they're after. There's emotional insecurity or instability or financial instability is what's going on. So you or this other person is working very, very hard to achieve something. They are definitely not the type to give up, but they're not achieving it, and this is causing them inner conflict. So it could be you, perhaps you're after some sort of goal and you're being a little bit too hard on yourself about it. That could be what's keeping you from the goal, because there is a sort of like inner conflict here. Now, the good thing that is going on around you is I do see support around you from other people in your life, maybe friends or family, or like you have a good network for what it is you're wanting to do. Let me see why you're not, or this person isn't able to achieve this goal. Yeah, so there is confusion about it. Okay. There's confusion here. Okay. There's confusion here because of what is going on in your emotional world. For some of you, this could be you getting back out into the workforce after being at home for an extended period of time, realizing that you no longer want to do that there's something you're wanting to go after and achieve career-wise that maybe you hadn't had the chance to do for a long time. Maybe you've been focused on, you know, taking care of other people, and it's like now you've got this fire in your belly and there's things that you want to go after. So you have the fire there to want to achieve something, but yet you don't know exactly what it is you want to achieve, or it's just not possible right now because of the circumstances. I do see that like right now, the reason you're not getting the rewards that you're hoping for in this endeavor is simply because right now is just not the right time. You're not going to receive the rewards for this right now. That's a blessing to hear, because I'm hoping that you take it that way, because I do see that you're being quite hard on yourself and quite frustrated. And, you know, the universe has its timing for different things. And right now, it's just not meant to be. Not right now. I'll pull a few more cards and maybe I'll get an idea on timing. But so it's nothing that you're doing wrong. There's nothing you could do better. It's just the circumstances. I feel like you're going to be in a period of really finding yourself over the next few months, and you can't really achieve something in the outside world until you've achieved within, until you know yourself really well. And I feel like you're kind of rebirthing right now. Once you go through that rebirth and you've completed that, it's going to be very clear for you. And so just don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, interesting. So on top of this dynamic, I mentioned this network that you have. You have a large network, or maybe a big family, group of friends, and there's definitely some fear there that when you move forward in this new direction, there's fear of, will I lose them too? Or what are they going to think? Or will I be judged for this decision that I'm making? You're scared to be fully authentic with what you're actually going through. So you might be putting on like a happy face to your friends or family because you seem like the type of person that really doesn't like to know that they're worrying people. And so that's keeping you in some fear too of moving forward. But all of that's going to go away once you have figured out who you are once again. They say that every 7 years, every cell in our body is recycled or like renewed, and we essentially like shed a skin every 7 years. And you're in that phase right now. So it's important to not be too hard on yourself and to not try and achieve anything outwardly until you are certain that you know who you are right now in this moment. So give everything time. Now is not the time to make any sort of major change outwardly. Now is the time to focus on what needs to change within first. So if there was any big decision coming up that you were thinking about making, or maybe an opportunity presents itself, the cards here are saying to decline that opportunity for the time being. Don't do anything rash. Really sit with yourself and think about it. And this would be like a great period for you to do some like retrospection, even like therapy work, or books or activities or meditation or yoga, things to like really just focus on you and get to know yourself again. So as far as how this pertains to the, Eight of Swords, I would say, yeah, right now you're in this mental entrapment, because you need to go within. It's almost like once you go within and focus inwardly, once the woman in this card really starts focusing on herself and her emotions and her past and her personality and who she is and why she's the way she is, it's like these swords are just, the mask is just going to kind of fall off on its own. The swords are they'll fall on their own, and she'll be able to move forward. So yeah, I see that you have like a lot of like really exciting opportunities coming up once you get past this phase. So like you can kind of go wherever you wish to go once you get through this. So just hang in there. I know it's probably feeling very difficult right now. I can definitely feel that you are conflicted, and there is a big lifestyle change coming up for you. I feel it, but not right now. Now would not be the right time to do that. So just hang in there, keep working through your feelings and your emotions, keep watching videos like this, on YouTube. This is a great method of kind of getting to know yourself and your higher self and your subconscious and spirit and the universe. And you'll be all right. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment below. I want to know how this resonated and what exactly it is each of you are going through. And with that being said, I'm going to move on to pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. You guys had the key charm, which I love this. Bought this at an estate sale. It's actually for someone in my family. Let's see how the Eight of Swords is playing out in your life right now, where your blind spots are, where you're, trapped right now currently. Can you guys see my cat? I can't sit down at the table without her trying to jump up onto my lap. And then it's like a balancing act. I've got my legs crossed. I don't even know why this is comfortable for her, but all right. I think I want to do it there, and Okay, let's see what we've got here. I'm going to do 5 cards, and then we'll pull more as needed. All right. Wow. This is some pretty, it's interesting because there's no major arcana that came up, but the cards that did come up from the minor arcana, this is a very powerful message here. I'm feeling like they're either you or someone else. Let me just add a couple more cards here. What's on hold here? Okay, finally got a major arcana. They're either you or someone in your life is going through something quite destructive. And they're in denial about something, behavior or some action that they've taken that is quite destructive. It may have been something in the past, because I do see here that someone's kind of in the recovery room, so to speak, because they are healing and prepping for a major lifestyle change that they are willingly going to make. So it's like the worst of it seems to be over, but they're still in that phase where they're headed in the right direction, but it's important to keep in mind that they are still mentally entangled in this, and they could very easily fall back into the same pattern or destructive sort of behavior or relationship if they don't keep holding on. It's like right now, just keep holding on, keep holding on. You're in the recovery room, and things aren't really going to be safe until you're out of that recovery room. I do sense there's some interesting family dynamics that are at play. I'm feeling more like parents. So you could be a parent watching, and this could be about your child, or it could be that you are the young adult that's not yet married or has kids or is still living with their parents for some reason, and the universe is prepping you for a change. The universe really wants you to heal from whatever it is you have gone through, and they're wanting you to kind of be able to go out and create your own life without being dependent on anyone. Like to be able to be fully dependent on yourself. And so that's in the works right now as we speak. So if you keep holding on to the direction that you're headed, you will be out on the other side of this very soon. But it's important to not, it's kind of like what I'm hearing is don't fool yourself. Yes, you're headed in the right direction, but that doesn't mean that the blindfold is off. It's like you're aware right now that the blindfold needs to come off. And so that's why you're in the right direction. And you're working towards getting that blindfold off, but it's not off yet. So don't trust yourself 100%. I feel like there are other people in your life right now that you are lending a lot of trust to, whether that be like a counselor or a friend or a family member that you look up to and trust with this situation. Continue defaulting to their judgment for the time being until you are out of this phase, whether that be like an addiction to something, or it could even be just like a really negative relationship that's in your life, or just some sort of habit or mentality that it's like you keep tripping yourself up in. Let me see if I can get any other information here. Yeah, the universe is trying to get you on track with your life's purpose. There is a feeling here that because of what you experienced in your childhood, way back in childhood, something happened that kind of held you back. Something difficult happened that kind of put you in this psychological pattern of failure or difficulty, to the point where you've never been, even if you were able to provide for yourself, like financially, and like on maybe to the world, it looked like you were able to provide to yourself. Internally, you certainly were not able to. And there was definitely some destructive self-talk going on that stems from what you went through in childhood. So that's kind of kept you stuck in this Eight of Swords situation. But I see that you're on the right track, and that the universe is setting you up to get connected with your life's purpose. Our life's purpose is never to be stuck in the past, in our childhood and whatever it was that you went through. That's not part of your purpose. There is something greater, but it can't come in until you've made room for it, which I think you're recognizing all of this now. But just let this reading be confirmation that yes, you have a very important life purpose. You are absolutely able to provide for yourself emotionally, materially, all of the above. And once you get through this healing phase, just don't try to move too quickly. The healing is so important. If you don't take time to really heal and recover and get the pride pushed out of the way so that you can fully heal and recover, then you're just going to repeat. And there's no shame in needing time to recover. So allow that to happen, because I do see that, yeah, you've got a great purpose coming in. Possibly a career, or it could even be a relationship, just something that's a part of like the next phase that's coming in for you that looks really, really good. It actually makes complete sense that you guys had the key charm that went with your life. So just don't give up, keep holding on, keep deferring to the wisdom of the people in your life that you trust, and start cultivating an attitude, like a more positive attitude towards yourself, a little bit more love towards yourself, because I can tell that that's been hard for you to do in the past. You're working on it now, though. So you guys are on the right track, and I'm really proud of you, and I'd love to hear more about what's going on, so don't forget to leave me a comment. I'm at the point right now on this channel that I can actually read every single comment that's posted and take time to respond. And yeah, I would love to know a little bit more about your situation and what's going on. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Love you guys. All right, pile number 3. You guys missed out on Moon, my kitty. She's been sitting on my lap this whole time, but she decided to leave after the last group. Maybe she'll come back. You guys picked the stone that has this red and gray coloring running through it. Can you see it? It's smooth. My daughter actually gave this to me. It's very pretty. It looks like, isn't this shaped like Tennessee, right? Okay. Let's see how the Eight of Swords is playing out in your life currently, what your blind spots are, or what you're trapped in. Oh wow, we haven't had any jumpers today, so we'll definitely take it. Oh wow, we got a spiritual growth card. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, yeah, there's spiritual growth, a breakthrough. It's connected to your body or to career. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Okay, you guys have a lot going on here. A lot of... I keep feeling called to pull more cards. Let's see what she's dreaming about. What's going on here? Okay, and what's this here? Okay. I need to stop pulling cards. I still feel called to pull more. All right, so you are definitely connecting more with your ego in the material realm, but like in a healthy way, like in a spiritual sort of way. And I do see that either you're currently considering an opportunity, or there will be one offered to you very soon. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know why are you hesitating on that? Like, the offer looks really great to me. I want to understand why you are hesitating or just considering. Okay. It could be in regards to a relationship or in a job. Yeah, there is a relationship or a job situation that has not been in a healthy dynamic for quite some time. And right now you're in this spiritual growth phase where you are waking up to the fact that you have material needs, and yes, you have an ego. It's like I almost get the sense that you've been almost like too giving and too humble, to where it's actually become quite negative. And you've been that way. You've been too patient, too giving, too humble, too loyal for like far too long. And you have some sort of offer that has already come in or will be coming in soon that you will be considering, because you have these hopes that it's going, you have these hopes, or you're daydreaming about the possibility that it could be much better than the situation that you've been in currently. I do see you daydreaming about this. It's like you finally gotten the strength to stand up for yourself and to kind of say, look, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. You're going through, a metamorphosis, and you no longer want to be put on hold. So I do see in the past that you sold yourself short a little bit. You didn't speak up for what you needed because you felt like maybe you didn't deserve it, or you just didn't want to come off as like needy or aggressive. And now you're either, it could be one or both. You could be, I do see that you're getting more in touch with, you're realizing what it is that you deserve. And that could have been realized all on its own, or this whole thing could have to do with another person that has come into your life that's made you realize these things. I want to see, there is kind of like a warning here, and I want to see what that is about. Let me see if I can get a jumper. One second, because you guys have a lot going on here. Yeah, okay, so we have a lot of energy going on here. I guess I can't get like the exact details of what it is that this cautioning is about, but it has to do with, make sure that you are viewing whatever this offer is about, make sure you're viewing it clearly on both sides. So like you had in the past given too much slack to others and not stood up for yourself. So keep that in mind when you make this decision. Don't go back to something because you feel like you need to give it another chance. because I do see that you've been doing that for years and years and years. On the other side of the coin, don't run towards something that looks too good to be true, or don't feel like this offer is an escape from the past, because that's never possible either. You definitely have to work through the past and standing up for yourself. You need to continue to do that. That's great that you're doing it, but keep in mind that this is something that's going to take time. There's not an easy fix to anything. There's never an easy fix to anything. So I can't say for certain, and maybe it's because several people will be watching this video, I can't say, let me look. Yeah, okay. So there is a need to understand, I think you are starting to understand this, the purpose of certain relationships in our lives. So for example, the relationship that you've been in that's had this unhealthy dynamic, whether this be like a work relationship or like a marriage, if you didn't have this person come in to engage in this healthy dynamic with you, as wrong as it was, you would have never been able to realize your weakness in this area. So there was a purpose to it all. So just make sure that if there is something you walk away from, don't walk away from it with like bitterness. Let that bitterness go, because that doesn't do anything but hold you back. Forgive and definitely move on if needed, but don't run towards like a Band-Aid situation either. So just make sure that you continue putting yourself first, like you have been recently. You're definitely going through this metamorphosis, and yeah, putting you first finally. So don't run to another situation where you're going to have to put yourself second again. Right now is really a time for you to think about you and to do what's best for you. And what's best for you is also letting go of bitterness, forgiving, because that sourness just is going to hold you back. And what's best for you is, yeah, forcing yourself to put yourself first, even in the midst of loneliness. You can get through the loneliness to put yourself first. And just to remember that walking away from this one situation isn't the end of the metamorphosis. So don't think that this one thing is the crux of all of your problems. It is a problem, and but you're also going to notice that once you've solved this problem, you're going to see that this dynamic of kind of putting yourself last seeps into many other areas and relationships in your life. But because this is kind of like the biggest one, it feels like it's the only one. It feels like if I could just get rid of this freaking issue here, all of my problems would be solved. You do need to get rid of it or to solve it, but just be prepared for the next thing to solve, I guess is what I'm saying. Be prepared for the next thing to solve, because you're in a metamorphosis phase and there's lots of new things that you're going to be learning and lots of new strengths that you're going to be gaining through every aspect of your life. And this is kind of the first stage. If you can get through this, you can get through the rest of them. But this definitely isn't the only thing. So I hope that made sense. Let me know kind of what's going on in your life. Comment below, and I will definitely respond. You guys had about 3 times the amount of cards as the other group so far. So, and let me look at the back of the deck. Talking about, yeah, there's something that you need to talk through, because we have that as our back of the deck energy. So communication about something. So don't just walk away without communicating why, or I think that's a scary thing too, which I understand, because I've definitely gone through that. So you have to explain why you're doing what you're doing, even though everything inside of you is probably wanting to like give everyone the finger and just go do what it is you want to do and leave them to wonder. Part of the lesson is learning how to communicate what it is you're doing, what it is you need, why, and that's a healthy habit to be in. That's a healthy dynamic that you want. You want to learn how to be brave and to do that for yourself. So just make sure that you're communicating everything that needs to be said, but you're definitely, you're in the right direction. You're standing up for yourself. You're moving forward in a really positive way. So anyways, yeah, leave me a comment below. I want to know what's going on. I want to know all the details. And don't forget to like the video. It helps the video to reach more people that need to hear this message. When you guys like and comment and subscribe, YouTube picks up on the algorithm and sends it out to more people. Yeah, so good luck with this. And I'm going to move on to pile number 4. Hello, pile number 4. I'm trying to think of, I think I had, 4. You guys had the OPALITE, right? I wish the camera doesn't really catch the beauty of this. There's different colors that run through it. It just looks white on here, but let's see how the 8 of Swords is currently playing out in your life. What maybe you are, what your blind spot is right now, or what you are blind to right now, and any helpful tips or advice. And this could be about other people in your life, something going on outside of you, or it could be something going on within you. Everyone's been pretty different so far. As far as the 3 groups that we've done so far, they've varied quite a bit. So I'm definitely curious to see what's going on with you. So you guys could be a Cancer, or you could have a Cancer in your life that this involves. Interesting. That goes there for sure. Okay. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of activity going on around you. It could be work. It feels pretty hectic, or it could be something going on at home. Yeah, there's some disorganization, something that's very hectic and disorganized, and the main message here is that you have the power to organize this and put it in order. You absolutely have that power. I feel like there's just a lot being thrown on you as far as responsibilities, just a lot that you're taking on, and you feel exhausted and overwhelmed, and like there's no other way for this to go. Like there's no way for it to be more organized than it is kind of what I'm hearing. Like there's nothing I can do, so I've just got to deal with it, I guess, and I'm exhausted and I want to run away, but I'm going to keep doing and doing and doing. And there's a message here that you actually do have the power to change this situation. You're capable of creating what it is you envision with it. I want to see why you're not seeing it this way, though. Because it's like there's something that's not being seen clearly. And I want to see what that is. Okay. Huh. Sorry, let me pull a couple more. Okay. Yeah. So there's someone in your life that you're feeling like you can't rely upon. Or actually, maybe you think you can rely upon them, because there's a sense here that you're not seeing this person clearly for who they are. This person, and at some point, it's like there's a need to make a decision in regards to this person or this situation that you're not seeing quite clearly. I think that you believe that maybe you're making excuses for the situation. You're taking on a lot more than your fair share of the load. And I think that you feel like, oh, this is a temporary thing. Things will get better. This person or this group of people, I'm sure I will be able to rely on them here pretty soon. Like, oh, it's just that they're going through that, or it's just that the company's going through this. This sense of kind of like making excuses, or feeling like this person or this situation is capable of more, and they will be doing more in due time. And so you're just kind of patiently taking all of it on until they can step in and help. But it's like I don't see that situation will be changing, or that person will be changing. You are capable of changing your situation and yourself, but this person or this situation will not be changing. And it's interesting because I feel like you're taking on more than you need to, because you're fearful of, you don't want to be that person that lets other people down. So you just don't want to do it. It looks like this other person or these other people don't have any problem letting you down, but you can't do that. You are fearful of that. I see that you love like very hard, and you really want to take care of the people in your life, but because you're doing that, you're stalling yourself. You're getting yourself caught up in things that aren't your responsibility in the first place. It's these other people's responsibility to take care of, and you're super nice for stepping in to do that. And you're super nice. Like, I would like to have you as a friend, because you seem like the type of person that always gives the benefit of the doubt, you know. But in this case, with this situation or issue or person, they will not be changing. Or at least they won't be changing until you do. Now, if you start doing less and put them in a position where they have to do more, then it's likely that they could step up to the plate. But if you keep taking on all of this extra work, nothing will change. Let me see. Yeah, it could go one of two ways. This is either about a work situation where you're being like severely overworked, and your employer is just going to continue taking advantage of your good nature until you decide to say, no, I can't do it. I can't work the extra shift. I just can't. And you need to know that you don't even need to explain yourself. So it could be a situation like that, where it's time to just start saying no, and you'll see that things at work will start shifting once you do that. Or even being willing to start looking elsewhere for work. Or it could be a spouse. So it could be career, or it could be marriage, and it might be different depending on who's watching the reading. And for those of you that this is like a marriage dynamic, it's the same thing as what I said for the career dynamic. Most people don't just change just to change. People adapt to the situation they're in. So as long as you keep playing the role that you're playing in your marriage, your husband or wife will continue playing their role. Now, once you shift and you're like, I'm no longer going to do this or be this way, that is when they will then have the opportunity at least to shift. But it has to start with you. So don't let go of that guilt. for doing that. There's no reason to feel guilty, because I do see that a lot more is on your plate than what should be. And if you focus on what you can do to change the situation, to make things easier on yourself, not to carry the load for everyone, you'll see things going in a positive direction. So mentally, this Eight of Swords card is playing out in your life, and that mentally you have led yourself to believe that, things will change on their own, and that people will choose to step up to the plate on their own, and that you just need to continue being nice and saying yes, 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 yes. And that's your blind spot. Because in this case, that will not be what happens. It starts with you. You have to change the situation. And you can. You totally can. And I hope that this reading helped you to see that. But leave me a comment below. I'd like to know what specifically is going on in your life. If this was career or marriage. Heck, it could be a little bit of both. Because a lot of times where these dynamics are never just confined to one area of our life. And reading number, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. Reading number 2 had some similarities here. So if you were drawn to that pile, you may want to watch it as well. And it was like relationship dynamic. But all right, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what videos you'd like to see next, and whether or not this one resonated with you at all. I'm going to move on to our final pile. Okay, pile number 5. You guys had the gorgeous rose rock, which I don't know if these are all over the United States or not. I know they're native in my state. I just think they're so pretty. So I'm curious to see what comes up for you all. Everyone's readings have been very diverse so far. Moon only stuck around for the first 2. My kitty, she's sleeping on the chair over here. All right. Let's see what is going on. It's so interesting because how the same cards will come up. There's several different readings, even though you shuffle. It's just crazy how that happens. It's like there's 78 cards in a deck, and the same cards still come through. Similar messages. Okay, so I do see that there is a big transition you guys are in. It's like you're finally sticking up for yourself in some sort of area that you feel like you've been overlooked for a long time, or you're trying to stick up for yourself. Now, but there is, let me see what this metamorphosis is about. There is a conditioning, a negative sort of conditioning that you need to get past or outgrow, which that's probably what's coming up here as far as the Eight of Swords dynamic. And maybe this is about you needing to actually put yourself first. And let me look here. I do see relationship, marriage perhaps. It's like you're considering this offer. You're still in love with someone. You're still in love with someone. And so maybe this has to do with the relationship that, with the person that, you know, you've just known forever. And it's interesting because, I mean, I see a lot of positive cards. All of these actually are really positive cards. I'm seeing a lot of good emotional growth. I'm seeing a reconciliation of some sort. I don't know if that means that the marriage or the relationship itself is reconciled, as in you guys are coming back to be together once again, or if it's like a reconciliation, like more of a closure. Like, I am emotionally okay with, you know, our relationship has played out what it needed to play out, and now it's the right time to, you know, let go of this and move on, but move on amicably. So let me get a few more cards because yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh, now I'm getting really emotional looking at these. Sometimes like the cards will just hit me all at once. There is a really long relationship that you've been in for a long time, and it feels like you've known this person even since, like, it feels like childhood, but maybe that's just the feeling I'm getting so that I can convey the message properly. And it wasn't that you did anything wrong. It wasn't that they did anything wrong. It's like this is the way things were set up to be from the universe before you guys came into being, before you guys were born. This was the plan. And I do see a really, really healthy ending here. Like a very amicable, if you guys have children together, you guys are going to be like amazing co-parents. It's like I feel like you came to this reading because you want to know that it's okay to end it. Because I think that you and this other person feel like it's right, but everyone around you may be like, we don't get it. You guys, you know, get along great. It's like, why are you just going to end it? You know, I don't see an issue. But you guys know inside that there is, it's time for it to end. You guys know, you're listening to that calling from the universe. So, yeah, just know that the universe gives you its blessing, and it's definitely time to move into the new phase of something and nostalgically and with a bittersweetness leave this old phase behind. But I do see that it's all like very happy, because like I said, lots of really positive cards. Just let go of any fears attached to moving into something new. Let go of that fear. You'll be okay, and it's the right direction to move into. For some of you, there may have even been like a death of a partner, and then there's this guilt of moving into something new because you feel like, you know, but I committed to this person for my lifetime, and even though they're gone, shouldn't I stay committed until I'm gone? And you have the blessing. You have a blessing from the universe that it's okay to move forward. It's meant to be to move forward. And I see that the relationship you guys had was really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And I get emotional looking at the cards. And I do feel it's interesting because I just did a reading. I just did a tarot reading last week about what planet has a message for you, and I'm feeling the same person here. I have a very, small amount of subscribers right now, and I think 28 or 29 now, which I'm super excited about, and love you guys to the ends of the world and back. And so you know who you are. I'd like it if you'd comment below, because once again, I'm feeling a male spouse here really wanting to talk to you. And just, it's hard for me to look at these cards and not get emotional, but he really, really loves you, and he loved what you guys shared together, and he wants to know that he's still around you, and that he wants to watch your life unfold. He doesn't want your life to be on hold because of what happened to him. Very handsome. He does feel young. And I'm not hearing like maybe Ryan, ignore that if it doesn't resonate, but there's definitely a male spouse that's coming through and really wants to talk to his wife. But his message here, and the message for all of you, is that sometimes relationships are meant to come to an end, and it's not because either of you did anything wrong. It's just the natural progression of things. And so move forward guilt-free, and allow yourself to get excited about moving forward, because you did everything right. It's a successful completion to whatever it was you were meant to accomplish in this relationship, and you have the universe's blessing and urging actually to move forward. So please let me know who that is, because he keeps coming through. That's the second reading, I guess. And I would love to see a comment from you guys with some more detail on who this is. But thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if this reading resonated in any way, and hit the thumbs up button for me. When you guys like and comment on the video, it helps to share it with more people that need to hear this message. So thank you for doing that. And that is all of the readings for today. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.